Hi everyone, it's time for a bit of guidance this week I feel, but today I'm going to do things slightly differently. I'm going to use this as the tool basically for me to connect, see what comes in. This is to do with angelic Reiki, and it was came about pretty by accident really. I stumbled across this because I was teaching my students a few things last night on the kind of video chat, and I was inspired suddenly to give them a reading, but via this one, by my angelic Reiki crystal. And I thought, okay, I'll go with it and see what comes through. And I actually got some pretty good, wise, sagacious advice. So I'm going to go through this, try this today with you guys. It's a life experiment, really. Obviously, you'll see it recorded, but it is an experiment. It's the first time I've really done this. So we might not get a thing, don't know yet. Please be aware there are sounds going around, obviously because I am outside. But just try and ignore those things, and we'll see what happens. I'm just going to try and tune in, see what I pick up, if anything. And what tends to happen, I get metaphors and that kind of thing. And what comes to me forward right now is hedgerows, of all things. It's like setting your boundaries. Make sure you set your boundaries, everyone. And that tells me that people may be doing things that perhaps you're not comfortable with. Sometimes it's good to have a challenge, but at the other times you may need to actually put a bit of a buffer up to say no, that's not acceptable. So I think all of us right now need to accept that there are times that we need to, just let that car go by, be ourselves and don't kind of dance to other people's tunes, and you do that by setting your boundaries. And sometimes you've got to say no. I'm getting say no. Don't just willy-nilly say, oh yeah, I'll do that. You've got to say no sometimes. Otherwise you'll get to the stage of being overburdened. I'm actually being shown a tarot card now with one of the ones where he's just holding this big burden. It's just like you're just being overburdened by just saying yes all the time. You've got to say no sometimes. What else have we got? Beware the ones who are watching in the background. Because I was shown like a leopard and how it kind of blends in the background, like hidden. And so there is, to me, that signifies a little bit of sniping behind your back. And people are watching you, saying a few words that perhaps they shouldn't. And you don't want to react to that energy. You don't want to kind of get angry or anything like that. But you can just be aware of it. And just say, if you start hearing silly things about you behind your back, just rise above it, honestly, and just say, listen, that's not who I am. If this person gets off on having a pop at me, well, that's good for them. They must be living pretty dull lives. That's kind of what I got. It's like a little bit of sniping, a little bit of someone just having a little, oh, look what such and such has done last night, and it's gossip. You're better than that. Don't rise to it. So if you hear people gossiping about you, always just laugh it off, because it's not worth your energy and time. And if you do react, then you'll get sucked into a silly feud that you're better than that. So rise above any silly little gossips. Okay, we'll ask for one more final thing. Oh, guillotine. I'll show the guillotine just coming straight down. So this is several levels, this. Time to do away with people that really aren't helping you. It's like you kind of got an umbilical cord attached to it, but every time you think you get rid of them, they come bouncing back like a unwanted boomerang. Time to sever those cords permanently. It's like I'm getting like a guillotine coming down going, and just saying like, no more, no less. I'm not having anything to do with you anymore. And you do it nicely. You do it with love. You just probably just let that person go and send them on their way. Don't do it with animosity, because that kind of rankles with you then, and that kind of still causes that attachment to be there. So it is literally just smoothing away those little unwanted kind of almost tentacles. I've used the word tentacles, that's a bit slimy, isn't it? And that kind of makes you realise that's what kind of energy that's sucking you, basically. So you don't want that. So all those unwanted old connections that just don't serve you anymore, just let them go. It's not you anymore. I mean, I've done that a few times in my life, you know, when I look back at things that at the time were relevant, but it's just not relevant anymore. And I want you to do the same there. Go through, have a look around what that just doesn't serve you, and just let it go. And also, I always get the feeling that it's what's on other levels as well. All those physical things that you've got. So if you look around the house, and you know those like sentimental things that it's good to have, of course it is, but they actually do take up a lot of space. So really be quite thorough. Go through your house and say, I like it, but I don't actually need this physical thing because the memory's like here. I don't need that attachment anymore. So you can let that go as well. And obviously, when you release things you don't need anymore, you suddenly end up with more space for new stuff into your life. You know, it's like a clear out to receive more stuff in. You've got to kind of do that. You've got to have a little bit of a clearance. I mean, I know the old secret and all that will tell you this anyway, but it's kind of what I've been coming in. It's just literally just lobbing out the old sentimental attachments. You know, obviously send them out with love because, you know, that it is nice, but at the same time, we do have to do that. I've done this a few times over the years, got rid of things. Well, it's sad, but it's I've got the memory here. I don't need a physical copy, for want of a better word. So to just remember that. And I think that's pretty much it, guys. So let me know what your thoughts are. This little thing is going to be pretty amazing. So I've used no cards today, no sort of like, how we say, tools of the trade, just purely working with what I was receiving. And let me know if that resonates with you, and if it does, please do take the time to like and subscribe and share this video out there, because the more obviously I can help people, the happier I'll be. And obviously if you want a reading one-to-one or whatever, I do tend to use a traditional tarot for that, but of course I'm happy to do whatever you quite like. As I say, that's more on psychic level, not mediumship, so I'll just make that clear that here and now. But if you'd like to do that, by all means. And of course at the moment I do offer Reiki. Obviously it will have to be distant Reiki if you'd like to experience that. Again, drop me a message, people. You know, I've got this lovely energy I can send out there, and it wants to get busy. So if you want to experience that, drop me a line, we'll have a chat about that. Okay, in the meantime, I wish you much love. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you on the next time I do this. I'm actually thinking of doing a little experiment in distant healing. I did actually try it earlier on, but I ran out of video, so that's a bit embarrassing. But in the meanwhile, I'll let you go. Take care. Much love. See you soon. And subscribe, people. Subscribe.